You made it to the final chapter. And that alone puts you in rare company, in the top 1% of people who actually complete what they start. Most people consumed video 1, felt inspired for 24 hours, and went back to their old patterns within 48 hours. A smaller group made it to video 2, learned the techniques, and told themselves they'd implement later, which usually means never. But you're here, which means something fundamentally different is happening inside you. In video 1, we awakened you to the defective code, the limiting beliefs inherited from childhood, the broken financial thermostat set at poverty levels, the invisible filters keeping you small and safe. You saw the problem with brutal clarity. In video 2, we gave you the neurological tools, the 2-minute rule, the momentum starter protocol, emotional state management systems, the frameworks for conquering procrastination and imposter syndrome. You learned how to break the old wiring and start installing the new. But here's what separates knowledge from mastery, transformation from transcendence. The ability to build a complete prosperity system that runs automatically, that survives storms, that compounds over decades until wealth becomes your default state of being. Today, we complete the algorithm. Today, you learn to embody the wealth mindset so deeply that prosperity stops being something you pursue and becomes something you are at your core. The question that should be burning now is, how do I create an unshakable financial identity that operates on autopilot, attracts abundance naturally, and builds generational wealth that outlasts me? Let's finish this journey together. After working my financial thermostat and creating new behavioral patterns, I arrived at the most transformational moment of my entire journey. Understanding the true revolutionary concept of complete financial identity reconstruction. I realized with shocking clarity that for years I had been trying to change behaviors, fix symptoms, apply techniques, but the root of everything, the source code itself, was my identity. And as Deepak Chopra powerfully stated, you will never permanently overcome your own internal self-image. That phrase detonated in my consciousness like a bomb. I subconsciously saw myself as someone who always struggled financially, as a perpetual survivor barely making it month to month. And as long as I maintained that core identity, no technique, no matter how powerful, would create lasting change. So I began an intentional daily process of complete identity reconstruction. Every single morning, before anything else touched my consciousness, I would write by hand on paper. I am a natural creator of wealth. I attract opportunities magnetically. I manage money with superior intelligence and wisdom. Even if it felt like a lie at first, even if my bank account contradicted it, even if my circumstances screamed otherwise, I wrote it. Because I understood something crucial. Your identity isn't determined by your current circumstances. Your current circumstances are determined by your identity. Technique number 9, the Identity Declaration System. Here's the exact system I developed for reconstructing financial identity from the ground up. Morning identity programming, 10 minutes. Step 1, write 3 identity statements in present tense by hand. I am someone who. Behavior. I am someone who. Character trait. I am someone who. Relationship with money. Step 2. Read each statement out loud with emotional intensity, not monotone, with conviction. Step 3. Close your eyes and visualize yourself living as this identity for 90 seconds. See specific scenes. Feel the emotions. Step 4. Take one small action today aligned with this identity, no matter how tiny. Here's what most people miss. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between imagination, vividly experienced, and reality actually lived. When you consistently visualize yourself as wealthy with emotional intensity, your nervous system begins to rewire itself to match that identity. But I discovered something even more powerful: evidence accumulation. Technique number 10, the proof archive. I created what I call the proof archive, a physical notebook where I meticulously documented every piece of evidence that contradicted my old limiting identity and supported my new wealthy identity. Every time a client paid me enthusiastically, I wrote it down with the date. Every time I made a smart financial decision, I documented it. Every time I said no to an impulsive purchase, I recorded it. Every time money came from an unexpected source, I captured it. Why does this work? Because your brain is a pattern-seeking machine. When you deliberately collect evidence of your new identity, you're teaching your reticular activating system, the filter that determines what you notice, to spot more evidence. It creates a positive feedback loop. You document proof. Your brain notices more proof. You act more consistently with the new identity. You create more proof. The cycle accelerates. Within 6 months, I had filled an entire notebook with undeniable evidence that I was, in fact, becoming a different person financially. And that evidence became my anchor during difficult moments. Another practice that completely transformed my internal programming was what I call internal social proof. I started to track not just external results, but internal shifts. Times I felt abundant instead of scarce. Moments I chose long-term gain over short-term pleasure. Instances where I felt confident in financial conversations. Days where money anxiety didn't control my mood. This internal tracking reinforced that transformation was happening at the identity level, not just the behavioral level. Now, one of the most crucial discoveries I made during this identity reconstruction process came from studying neuroplasticity research. Scientists have proven that the brain is remarkably moldable. New thought patterns can literally create new neural connections at any age. Dr. Joe Dispenza's work showed me that through consistent repetition with emotional engagement, I was literally, physically reprogramming my brain for wealth. Not metaphorically, literally rewiring neural pathways. But here's where most people fail catastrophically. They try to reprogram their conscious mind while their subconscious runs the old code 24 hours a day. Technique. Number 11. Subconscious reprogramming through repetition. The subconscious mind, which controls 95% of your daily behaviors, learns through repetition and emotional intensity. So I created a daily practice specifically targeting the subconscious. Evening subconscious programming. 15 minutes before sleep. Why before sleep? Because as you drift into sleep, your brain waves shift from beta, active thinking, to alpha and theta, highly receptive states. Your critical conscious mind relaxes, and your subconscious becomes incredibly receptive to new programming. The protocol. Lie in bed, lights off, completely relaxed. Play recorded affirmations about wealth and abundance. I recorded my own voice. Visualize wealth scenarios with intense detail for 10 minutes. Allow myself to drift to sleep while the affirmations continue playing. I did this every single night for 90 consecutive days. And something remarkable happened around day 30. My automatic thoughts began to change. The default internal dialogue shifted from, "I can't afford that," to, "How can I create the value to afford that?" My dreams even changed. I started having dreams where I was financially successful, making powerful decisions, living abundantly. My subconscious was accepting the new programming. After reconstructing my identity, I realized something critical. Willpower is finite, but systems are infinite. I needed to create an external system that reinforced my internal transformation. Robert Greene wrote brilliantly in Mastery that true mastery in any field comes from structured obsession, consciously transforming your entire environment into a laboratory for excellence. So I began building what I call the prosperity system, a comprehensive architecture that made wealth building automatic rather than requiring constant conscious effort. Component 1. The financial dashboard. I created a simple but powerful financial tracking system that I reviewed every single Sunday evening for exactly 30 minutes. The 5 numbers I track. Weekly. 1. Total income, all sources combined. 2. Total expenses, categorized necessary versus discretionary. 3. Savings rate, percentage of income saved, invested. 4. Net worth, total assets minus liabilities. 5. Value created, client served, problem solved, impact delivered. But here's the key that most people miss. I didn't just track the numbers. I tracked my emotional state and thoughts while reviewing them. If I felt anxiety, I wrote down the specific thought causing it. If I felt pride, I captured what triggered that. This emotional tracking revealed patterns I never would have noticed otherwise. Component 2. The Wealth Acceleration Plan. Every quarter, January, April, July, October, I would take 4 hours completely alone to create what I call my Wealth Acceleration Plan. The 5 questions Ali. Answer. 1. What's my financial target for this quarter? Specific number. 2. What are the 3 highest leverage activities that will get me there? 3. What's one limiting belief I need to eliminate this quarter? 4. What's one new skill I need to develop? 5. Who are 3 people I need to connect with or learn from? Then I would break down the quarterly plan into monthly milestones, weekly actions, and daily disciplines. This quarterly planning ritual became sacred time, no distractions. No phone, just me, a notebook, and total clarity about where I was going and how I would get there. Component 3. The value multiplier strategy. One of the biggest breakthroughs I had came from understanding this principle from Robert Kiyosaki. Rich people work to learn, not to earn. Poor people work to earn. I realized I had been optimizing for immediate income rather than long-term value creation, so I implemented what I call the 10-20-70 rule. 10% of my time, learning new high-value skills. 20% of my time, building systems and leverage. 70% of my time, executing on highest value activities. Before this shift, I was spending 95% of my time on execution and only 5% on learning and leverage building. No wonder I was trapped in the hustle cycle. Technique number 12, the multiple streams architecture. Another essential point, I systematically created multiple income streams. After all, a millionaire mind doesn't depend on a single fragile source. Here's the exact framework I used over 18 months. Month 1 to 3. Identify 3 skills people would pay for month 4 to 6. Create a simple offer for skill number 1, minimum viable product. Month 7 to 9. Systematize and scale stream 1 while starting stream 2. Month 10 to 12. Add stream 3 while optimizing streams 1 and 2 month 13 to 18. Focus on compounding all streams while exploring stream 4. This isn't theory. This is exactly how I went from one income source generating €3,000 monthly to 5 streams generating €12,000 monthly within 2 years. The beauty of multiple streams isn't just diversification, it's the psychological freedom. When one stream has a bad month, the others stabilize you. You stop living in scarcity panic and start thinking strategically about growth. Component 4. The knowledge compound system. I also realized that my financial growth was directly proportional to my knowledge growth. So I created a systematic learning architecture. Daily. Read 30 pages of a wealth-building or business book. Weekly. Listen to 3 podcasts from people 10 steps ahead of me monthly. Take 1 course or attend 1 workshop in my field quarterly. Hire 1 coach or mentor for 3 months, minimum yearly. Attend 1 major conference or immersive experience. This knowledge compound system meant that every year I was a completely different person intellectually than the year before, and that intellectual growth directly translated into income growth. If this content is unlocking profound clarity you've been searching for, do me a favor. Like the video, drop a comment with the word mastery so I know this is resonating at the deepest level, and make sure you've grabbed the Absolute Focus System ebook from the first comment. It has the complete prosperity system templates we use with high performers. After building the systems and solidifying my wealth identity, I arrived at the final and most profound level, the legacy mindset. I realized that all the wealth in the world means nothing if it dies with you. True mastery isn't just about becoming wealthy. It's about building wealth that serves a purpose greater than yourself. This is where Napoleon Hill's concept of definiteness of purpose truly crystallized for me. He discovered that every massively successful person he studied had one thing in common: a purpose so compelling, so meaningful, that obstacles became irrelevant. Technique number 13. The legacy vision process. Here's the exact process I went through to define my legacy vision. Step 1. The deathbed question. I wrote down this question and spent 1 hour answering it with brutal honesty. If I'm lying on my deathbed at 85 years old, looking back at my life, what do I need to have built, created, contributed, or become to die with complete peace and satisfaction? This isn't morbid. This is clarifying. Because when you face your mortality clearly, all the superficial goals fall away, and only what truly matters remains. Step 2. The reverse engineering. Once I had my legacy vision crystal clear, I reverse engineered it. To achieve that by 85, where do I need to be at 70? To be there at 70, where at 60? Working backward to today, what needs to happen in the next 12 months? This created a roadmap from today to my ultimate legacy, and suddenly, my daily actions had profound meaning. Step 3. The impact metrics. I defined 3 legacy metrics I would measure my life by. Auto 1. Financial freedom created. Not just for me, but how many people did I help achieve financial freedom? 2. Value generated. How many lives did I genuinely improve through my work? 3. Knowledge transferred. What wisdom did I pass on that will outlive me? These became my true north. Every major decision got filtered through. Does this move me toward my legacy metrics or away from them? The 10-year vision. Jeff Bezos famously said, "If everything you do needs to work on a 3-year time horizon, you're competing against a lot of people. But if you're willing to invest on a 7-year time horizon, you're now competing against a fraction of those people." I extended that to 10 years. And it changed everything about how I allocated resources. That course that costs €5,000? On a 90-day horizon, it's expensive and scary. On a 10-year horizon where it accelerates my trajectory by 2 years, it's absurdly cheap and obvious. That business that won't be profitable for 18 months? On a 90-day horizon, it's a failure. On a 10-year horizon where it becomes a 7-figure asset, it's brilliant. Time horizon determines patience. Patience determines execution quality. Execution quality determines outcomes. The compound effect of daily excellence. Darren Hardy's concept of the compound effect became my daily philosophy. Small daily actions, repeated consistently over time, create exponential results. If you improve by just 1% every day for 1 year, you don't end up 37% better. You end up 37 times better. That's the mathematics of compounding. But it works in reverse too. Decline by 1% daily and you approach zero, which means the daily choices, the ones that seem insignificant in the moment, are actually everything. Do you invest 30 minutes in skill development today or scroll social media? Seems minor. But multiply that choice by 365 days, then by 10 years, and you're looking at the difference between mastery and mediocrity. The generational wealth principle. The final piece of legacy mastery is understanding generational wealth, building something that serves your children, their children, and beyond. This isn't just about leaving money. It's about transferring the wealth mindset itself, because you can leave someone 10 million euros, but if they have a poverty mindset, they'll lose it within years. So I began documenting everything I learned in detailed journals, not just for me, but for the next generation. The mistakes I made, the principles I discovered, the systems that worked. This trilogy of videos you're watching? Part of that legacy transfer. The wealth of knowledge that took me 15 years to acquire, distilled into hours that might save you a decade. So here we are, the end of the trilogy. But really, it's the beginning of everything for you. In video 1, you awakened to the defective code running your life. You saw the limiting beliefs, the broken thermostat, the invisible filters with brutal clarity. In video 2, you learned how to interrupt patterns, install high-performance habits, conquer procrastination and imposter syndrome, and build multiple income streams. And now, in video 3, you have the complete mastery framework, identity reconstruction, prosperity systems, and legacy vision. But let me be absolutely clear about something. You are not the same person who started video 1. Something fundamental has shifted. You see possibilities you couldn't see before. You understand mechanisms you didn't know existed. You have tools you didn't have access to. The question now isn't, can I do this? The question is, will I commit to this path even when it gets hard? Because it will get hard. The old patterns will fight back viciously. Doubt will visit regularly. Failure will happen repeatedly. But masters don't avoid failure. They use it as data. They adjust. They persist. Here's your final mission, and this one is permanent. Choose one identity declaration from the identity section. Write it down. Put it somewhere you'll see it every single morning. And for the next 90 days, not 21, not 30, but 90, you read that declaration out loud with conviction the moment you wake up. You're not lying to yourself. You're programming your identity, and your brain will start reorganizing your reality to match. Then go to the comments and declare, "For the next 90 days, I am committed to becoming your identity declaration." Make it public. Let this community hold you accountable, because we're all building this together. The 7 actions of mastery. Before you close this video, commit to these 7 actions. 1. Like this video so the algorithm shows this mastery framework to more people trapped in poverty mindset. 2. Subscribe to the channel because this isn't the end. It's the beginning of your wealth building education. 3. Share this trilogy with one person you know is stuck in the same cycle. Sometimes waking someone up is the most generous gift you can give. 4. Grab the Absolute Focus System ebook from the first comment if you haven't already. It contains every template, worksheet, and protocol we use with clients who've built 7- and 8-figure wealth using these principles. 5. Implement one technique from each video this week. Not all 13, just 3, one from each video. Small, consistent action beats large, sporadic effort. 6. Join our community, link in description, where we're all supporting each other through this transformation journey. 7. Schedule your first quarterly wealth acceleration planning session in your calendar right now for this Sunday. And here's what I want you to remember on the hard days. And there will be hard days. Prosperity isn't a destination you arrive at and then relax. It's a frequency you learn to maintain. Some days you'll be locked in perfectly. Other days you'll slip back. That's not failure. That's being human. What matters is the trajectory. Are you moving toward mastery, even imperfectly? Then you're winning. The algorithm is installed. The software is updated. The old code has been overwritten. Now comes the execution, the daily practice, the compound effect. This trilogy was never about motivation. It was about transformation. The awakening happened. The transformation was completed. The mastery is now yours to embody. Welcome to the other side, where clarity and wealth aren't goals to chase, but the natural expression of who you've consciously become. The trilogy is complete. But your story? It's just beginning. And I cannot wait to hear about your success. Drop your wins in the comments as they happen. Celebrate your progress. Inspire others with your transformation. Because when one person breaks free from poverty mindset, they create a ripple effect that touches everyone around them. Your wealth isn't just for you. It's for everyone whose life you'll touch with your abundance. Now go build the prosperity you were always meant to have. The mind you intentionally nurture today will be the exact balance of your account tomorrow. Your transformation is complete. Your mastery begins now. Thank you for trusting me with these 3 videos. Thank you for committing to your transformation. Thank you for becoming the wealthy, abundant, prosperous person you were always meant to be. See you in the next content, where we'll dive even deeper into specific wealth-building strategies. But for now, remember this final truth. You are not chasing wealth. You are wealth. Now go embody it.